Hi everybody, Mrs. Bianchi. We're looking at number 10. It says choose the number or numbers that make the inequality true. Select all that apply. Try substituting the answer choices in the place of W. The reason that we could use algebra, but the reason that sixth graders might not try using algebra is because we simply don't have the skill to do a question like this. This is not W minus 26 is less than 12. It's 26 minus W is less than 12. And this is a little tricky to solve it algebraically. You'd have to have full understanding of how to combine integers, how to add and subtract integers, and even how to divide integers. So since we don't have the skill of sixth graders to do that, your better strategy for this type of question is to actually substitute in the values. So if we substitute in the number 0, let's write 26 minus 0, and let's see if that's true, if that value would end up being less than 12. If I do 26 and I subtract 0 from it, I get 26. Is this a true statement? Is 26 less than 12? It's not, right? This is a false statement. It's actually, if we were going to put in the correct statement, we would actually put in the greater than symbol. So this is a false statement. So 0 is going to be a no. Don't pick that. Now, what I'm going to suggest we do to make this a little bit easier to recognize what we need to do is let's work this way, because we've already tried this. Let's start with the 26, then do a 16 and 15 and 14, and see if there's anything that we realize. Look for patterns when you're doing this. So let's try 26, and then let's try this choice right here to see if that's true. 26 minus 26, would that be less than 12? And if I do 26 minus 26, I get 0, and 0 is less than 12. So that would be one that we would pick. We'd pick 26. What if we substitute in, let's clone this, if we substitute in a 16? 26 minus 16, is that less than 12? If we do 26 minus 16, some people like to set it up like this. If you're not good at horizontal subtraction, set it up like this. Here you get the 0. Here you get the 1. This minus this is 10. Is 10 less than 12? It is. So we would pick that. We would pick 16 as another one of our choices. Now, you might be able to start identifying something that's true. This is just 2 away, right, from being maybe not an answer that would work. So that would help you to identify whether or not 15 and 14, just keep going. You can, if you don't understand what I mean by what I just said, then you'll just work your way down the list. Try 0, try 1, try 2. You have to substitute each one of these in until you actually see some sort of a pattern or a shortcut to get this right. Now, for those of you who are interested in how would you do this if you had to solve it, one of the things that you'll probably learn when you're in 7th or even 8th grade is the idea that this is a positive 26, and if we're going to eliminate that from that side of the inequality, then we would apply the opposite operation, which is to subtract 26 or negative 26, and that would cancel out. But we would also have to put this over here. And the issue that we have here is this would be, we would think of this as either a negative W or the opposite of W being less than the combination of these two things. See, as 6th graders, we haven't learned how to combine these, a positive 12 and a negative 26. We haven't learned that yet. Now, if you've already learned that and you want to go ahead and proceed with what that equals and try using an algebraic process to solve for W. Now, remember, we need W, not a negative W. So you would have to have some skill and knowledge on how do you clear this W. What opposite of W, what does that really mean? So because this is a little over our heads as 6th graders, this strategy of what we call substitution is the way to go. Now, can you use substitution every single time? Yes. But if you understand how to use algebra like we've done with some of the other questions, then that can be a time saver. So as a matter of fact, let's look at number 9. We'll kind of backpedal here and look and ask ourselves, can we use the algebraic process for this one rather than substituting in? Let's see if that's true. So if this was an equal sign, how would we proceed with solving? We would be applying the inverse operation, which is to divide by 4, because this means we're multiplying by 4. The inverse of that is to divide by 4. We would do that to both sides. If we simplify this, we get 1. 1 times a is a. Carefully copy the symbol. And if we do 16 divided by 4, that's easy enough. We can do that in our head. That means that a would have to be less than or equal to 4. I always recommend drawing a quick number line to graph your inequality. So we're looking at the number 4 here. 4 is included as a solution because it does say less than or equal to. So we would do a shaded in circle, and we would point this way because these are all the values that are less. So 4 is a solution, and any number that's less than 4. Look at the answer choices here and ask yourself which numbers would be 4 or less, and obviously check those, but not the rest.